Okay, welcome to Jackal's Wrestling Entertainment Pod. I'm Caleb. Here's Jeremiah. As always, we're going to recap everything, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about, don't we?
Yes, we do. Especially that pay-per-view last night was a real game changer on Road to WrestleMania.
It was. Let's start with Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, we saw to kick things off a big CM Punk promo that was interrupted by Logan Paul. What'd you think of this one? And do you think Logan Paul stood any chance on the mic with CM Punk, or was this all CM Punk?
No, I have to say, I believe this was all CM Punk. I mean, Logan Paul, we've seen how he's improved over his mic skills, and he does a good job. But CM Punk's just one of the best to ever do it as far as that microphone goes in ring. You know, like he says, it's a pipe bomb. And Logan Paul got the cheap shot, took off, but as we'll talk about later, that didn't end well for him in the long run.
It did not. And then next up, we had a triple threat with a surprise result. We saw Ludwig Kaiser pick up a victory over Penta and Pete Dunne. What did you think of this one? And are you shocked that Ludwig Kaiser was one that came away with a victory? I think most people would have thought Penta was the guy to win this one.
No, exactly. I mean, like we said, Penta's been on a hot streak, and I mean, he's lost the match now. Still technically hasn't been pinned or submitted, but no, you can't take anything away from either man. Very opportunistic. Ludwig Kaiser picked his opportunity, got a huge win, and I think that really catapults him going forward into the just a career trajectory right now, and his I think a shot at the Intercontinental title again.
I believe so too. Next up, we had the New Day versus Cruz and Wild, I should say, VOWO. What did you think of this match? I thought it was pretty fast-paced, really good tag team match on Monday Night Raw.
Agreed, and I actually liked the fact that we got to see a Cruz Del Toro, Keen Wild tag team site. And I mean, very good performers. A lot of times you don't see them as managers. You haven't seen them wrestle on TV in a while. You kind of forget how good they are. New Day, just momentum's on their side right now. This new Heel Turn, this new style, I thought, a very good match. And New Day picked up a victory, though, not easily.
Then after the match, we saw Dragon Lee when New Day tried to inflict more punishment to Cruz and Wild. And do you think Dragon Lee is going to get either Wild or Cruz, or maybe Rey Mysterio and go after Woods and Kofi? Which way do you think it's going to go?
I think right now, possibly Rey Mysterio. But I don't know when Rey will be back after that attack. But I think even right now, if he has to, he'll go after him one-on-one. I think he just wants to avenge his faction leader and hero, myself.
I think you're right. It'll be very interesting to see how this unfolds. As you mentioned a week or so back, that you've liked this Rey Mysterio against the New Day story. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's been really awesome. I think it's helps both in their careers right now. Good veterans and just good matches, good storytelling.
Next up, we had Gunther give a big match to an unexpected opponent. He gave Akira Tozawa a big match against him being the world champion. He gave him the opportunity to work his way up the rankings, but it was all Gunther. And then after the match, he wanted to put Akira to sleep. He ended up trying to put Otis to sleep, and Jey Uso made the save. What do you think of this? And what do you think of Gunther and the cocky, elegant champion Gunther? It seems he's getting more and more cocky each week as champion.
Oh, I mean, he is, and we see that. I mean, just a bully mentality, picking Tozawa. Tozawa tried. It's just no knock on Tozawa. He's just not on that level as the ring general. Otis tried to save his butt to no avail. Jay made the save, but right now I think Gunther just thinks, I've beat Jay before for the Intercontinental Championship. I beat him at the next main event for the world title. I think Gunther thinks he has him in the bag and is just getting, I think, maybe too cocky right now myself.
It does seem that way. It seems like Gunther just believes everything he touches is like an automatic victory. And who knows, maybe Jey Uso is the guy to win that at WrestleMania.
Very well could happen.
Next up, we had Lyra Valkyria, and what was an underrated match, retain her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Dakota Kai. What did you think of this match?
Oh, I thought so too. A really good match. I think possibly a little bit better than the one they had for the title to begin with. I think the rematch was a little bit better. Myself, I think they just know each other a little bit more. I think really good match. And Valkyria, she's a fighting champion. She said she'll defend against her wants a shot. And a huge congrats to her for keeping that championship.
And it looks like Ivy Nile may be next up. Speaking of Women's Intercontinental Champion and defending against whoever, it looks like Ivy Nile is on her way to challenging for the Intercontinental Championship soon.
Yeah, exactly. She lost the match, but she made an impact cut line by just assaulting the champion.
Yeah. Next up, we had Braun Breaker against Dorothy Dom Mysterio, and I love seeing Braun Breaker just beat the daylights out of Dorothy Dom. What about you?
It was a fun match. I think Dom just didn't have him quite yet where I wanted him yet. But Judgment Day ended up coming out, though. I feel like it was kind of a trap all along to give the Intercontinental Champion. Even Finn Balor staring him down. I mean, Finn's been Intercontinental Champion before. Does the Prince want another belt?
Here's just a prediction out here, and I don't know. I haven't heard like any rumors or anything, but I think the Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania is either going to be like a big multi-man ladder match, or possibly maybe like a 6 or 8 pack. But I think it's going to be a big, huge multi-man match with possibly like Finn, AJ Styles, maybe Penta, maybe Pete Dunne, maybe Ludwig, maybe guys like that in it for the Intercontinental Championship. I could see that happening.
Me too, and I hope so. I always love those kind of matches at WrestleMania. It's fun. Like when you used to do Money in Bank at WrestleMania, or like you said, you did that a few years with Daniel Bryan winning the Intercontinental title, Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental title, and those kind of scenarios, that ladder match one, or like you said, even a 6 or 8 pack challenge. It was just a fun multi-match. It gets more guys on the card, more on the show, and the chaos is just always fun to watch as fans.
No, you're completely right on that. It'd be very interesting, but we're going to talk more about it, but there's a lot of things building towards this WrestleMania. Could be one of the best ones yet. Next up, we had Cody Rhodes to talk about some of, not go all the way down into it that happened at Elimination Chamber, but he did talk a little bit about what he was thinking about The Rock's question for him, about The Rock wanting this so. But then Seth Rollins came out and interrupted him. So what'd you think of this, and what was Seth Rollins right in what he was saying to Cody?
Oh, I mean, like I said, we'll get more into that later. A lot of foreshadowing, yes. And I think Rollins was. I mean, like you said, who's Rollins to talk? We all know Rollins, sold out to be a 40 years ago, ended the show, took a chair to his brother's backs. But Seth's not that guy anymore. I mean, Seth said he's changed. He's trying to help Cody not make the mistakes he made. I believe Seth was sincere in his actions, and even to the point of calling out Cody Rhodes, I think Seth was just passionate about his feelings on this situation. And Cody, I mean, it's just a lot's weighing in on him. I mean, right now, you have a champion, you have a top guy, but title rings don't last forever. The in-ring stuff don't last forever. He's thinking long-term for his family and everything. So, yeah, just a lot weighing on the champ's mind.
Next up, we had Liv and Raquel Rodriguez becoming the new women's tag team champions by defeating Bianca and Naomi. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about when it gets to that situation at the Elimination Chamber. But let's start here. Monday Night Raw main event. New women's tag team champions. What'd you think? And do you think Liv and Raquel are going to be good tag champions? Do you think it's a transitional wing? How do you see this going?
Yeah, like I said, most definitely that really put everything in place of what happened last night, that match. Yeah, awesome match. And no, I don't think transition, no. I think Liv and Raquel's going to hold the belts for a little bit. How long, I don't know, but right now, and we'll get more into this later, I don't see a team on the horizon I think is going to take those belts from them that easily. We know the chemistry's there. Look how long Liv held that World Championship. We know with the Judgment Day there, they'll do anything they can to keep those titles too. So, no, I think you're going to really have a challenge ahead of you, a mountain to climb to take those tag titles myself.
I could see that most definitely happening. Next up now, we jumped to NXT. NXT had a lot going on, some really cool things we mentioned last week on the pod. The Hardys will be here, and we'll get to that. But we kicked it off with Stephanie Valcour retaining her Women's North American Championship against Carmen Petrovic. And then after the match, Julia challenged her to a winner-takes-all champion women's NXT match. What do you think of the match, and what do you think of this huge match we get at Roadblock now?
Well, thank again. Shout out to Carmen Petrovic. She's improved greatly in ring in these last few months from when she first started. From what I've seen, she did what she could. Valcour's just on the next level, and yeah, I think it should be awesome. We just got the women's North American title. I don't see a title unification. I hope not. I like the more singles titles.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like because you're just doing it now on the main roster, the main and minor women's titles singly. I don't want to see NXT just have a main and no minor, because it wouldn't make sense that you're just now doing that on the main roster and now you take it away from NXT. That would be weird.
Especially when that women's division's so huge and so
Stacked.
just stacked. I mean, the more titles to put that spotlight, the better, I believe. So I hope that's not the case. But man, I mean, I can't wait. I mean, we saw a little taste in triple threats with against Roxanne a few months back.
Yeah.
But just to see them one-on-one go at it, yeah, I just think it's gonna tear down the house myself.
Yeah, it could be the best match on Roadblock, and Roadblock's shaping up to be a monstrous show. Next up, we had Moose retain his TNA, yes, I said TNA X Division title against Lexis King in his hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. And then after the match, Obafemi challenged him to a match for the NXT Championship at NXT Roadblock. What did you think of the match? And what do you think about this hard-hitting showdown we're going to see at Roadblock?
Well, first off, fun match. I guess maybe we'd have to fact check it. According to Alexis, he's never lost in Cincinnati, his hometown, until Tuesday night. But Moose very much rocketed in that streak. And yeah, like you said, first time ever the TNA X Division title was successfully defended on NXT, which is such a prestigious title. I mean, if you know some wrestling history, you go back through all the years of TNA, you had great matches for that championship. AJ Styles really became known in that division, and you know him now in WWE. And yeah, Obafemi and Moose, again, I mean, Roadblock is an episode of NXT that might be possibly the NXT event of the year, and it's not even a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's can't miss for sure. You're
exactly.
right about that.
I mean, this is a dream match. I mean, people's made the comparisons ever since Obafemi came onto the scene of Moose.
Yeah.
And now you get to see this match in an NXT ring.
It really is like a dream match, especially for that caliber of superstar. It is like a dream showdown. Next up, we had the Hardys. Yes, the Hardy Boys on NXT defeating the No Quarter Catch Crew. After the match, Fraxium came out and the Hardys challenged them to a match again on NXT Roadblock. What do you think of this, and are you looking forward to the huge tag team match where you get the NXT Tag Champions against the TNA Tag Champions?
Yes. I mean, of course. I mean, you know, like we was talking last week, huge Hardy Boys fans. I love seeing them back there. No Quarter Catch Crew did an awesome job against the Hardys. I think really helped get them back into the first match in WWE in quite some time. The Hardys have still been going, obviously. And yeah, I mean, you look just again another dream match, because the Hardys, arguably one of the greatest tag teams of all time, arguably the greatest tag team of all time. And Fraxium this last year has just been a phenomenal tag team. I mean, you've watched NXT, you've even gone over TNA. I mean, you talk about the future tag team. I hope that eventually maybe we see that transition to the main roster. I don't want to see them break up per se. I want to see them stick as a team. And then even the Santino Morella entrance and pop was pretty awesome too.
That was. He made the official. We also seen Lola Vice challenge Santino's daughter, Ariana Grace, to a match, and we saw that up next where Lola Vice would kind of dominate Grace and just make short work of it. But what did you think of this match? I thought it looked like a match to reestablish Lola Vice.
I think so too. I think maybe she's leaning more towards the heel side at this point. But yeah, yeah, she dominated the match. I mean, she's maybe making a present for some kind of title match. I mean, right now, like we said, both champions have lost each other. Winner takes all. But I think she's putting her name in the hat of, hey, I'm out here. I want a shot at that championship, but just wants to be, like you said, reestablish herself, be taken more serious in the division again.
Next up, we had our main event. We had the debut, the NXT debut, the WWE debut of Ricky Saints when he teamed up with Javon Evans to versus Wesley and Ethan Page. Thing is, Evans and Ethan Page, they would take their rivalry outside of the ring. You wouldn't see them. It would leave the show to Ricky Saints, who would win and then have the whole ring to himself. First off, what did you think of the match? Second off, is Ricky Saints going to be a big-time player on NXT? I asked you this question last week before he wrestled a match. I'm asking you after you've seen him wrestle and you've seen him pin Wesley.
Yeah, most definitely. First off, I thought it was a great way, a debut for him to come on and have a contract signing segment week before was awesome. We got the name, Ricky Saints. And it's going to catch on pretty soon. That's what you're going to start calling him. That's what you're going to know him as. The music was cool, too. Still could do his celebration he did. And yeah, I mean, like we said, we've seen Evans and Page rivalry still going hot. They get taken out of the equation. Yeah, then we just see him against Wesley. We got a chance to showcase him, spotlight on him. Beats Wesley, who has been on a tremendous roll the last several months in NXT. And yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, I think you have a huge star here just waiting to happen. The crowd loves him. He has the charisma. He can go in the ring. I mean, he has it. Whatever it is,
He
like
does.
they say, he has it. So yeah, I was very excited to see what he's going to do.
And I thought it was cool how, because Ethan Page and Javon Evans fought through the crowd and you did see them, it left the spotlight just completely there for Ricky Saints. I thought that was a really cool way to debut, because now it seems like it was all your show. Seems like the main event and it was all his show, and he's left to do the signature Ricky Saints now pose in the ring.
Exactly.
Next up, we have SmackDown. Before we start SmackDown, I want to say I thought this was possibly the best SmackDown since moving to 3 hours, just my opinion. But throughout the night, I'll mention this because on the results, they don't talk about this a lot, but we'll mention it. Throughout the night, we saw The Rock giving different gifts to Cody Rhodes trying to persuade his decision. What do you think of that?
I thought it was just a really great story telling. Willie, I mean, it keeps it fresh. It's a continuous theme. And like you said, it's a string throughout the show. It's a old school attitude hour, ruthless aggression hour thing that we've talked about before. Just a continuous thread. That this is going to be the main segment. Everything's going to culminate in this. It's going to keep letting you know what's happening. And it did. We have Rock made his presence felt throughout the night, and you'd see him later on. And just still more just weighing on Cody's head in his decision.
So we started off a show in Toronto the right way. We kicked it off with Trish Stratus addressing the home crowd. And then Tiffany Stratton came out. They were interrupted by Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, leading to a Stratton-Chelsea Green match. A lot of their feelings Stratton would win by disqualification. But what did you think of this whole, first half hour and dedicated? I thought it was pretty cool. They dedicated it to a lot of it to Trish being in her hometown. But what did you think of it?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. A very cool way to kick it off. Of course, Trish is a legend, the hometown hero. Toronto loves her. I think it's a great way to help establish Stratton as a future star, as a babyface right now. Chelsea's such a great heel. That helps too. She's also, a Canadian superstar as well, although she denounced her country and said she represents the United States, because of course she did. And yeah, awesome match. I think that was a cool chance for Chelsea, showing she can hang with a world champion as well. Like I said, interference, Nia and Candice made their presence felt. But yeah, no, I thought it was a very cool way. The crowd loved it. It went crazy for Trish. And I think that, like I said, that helped them position Stratton right now. They want to position her with that kind of, shove by Trish.
Next up, it was announced by Nick Aldis you would get a tournament of sorts to see who would face Shinsuke Nakamura. And you would have 3 matches, and and then they would lead to a triple threat later on in the night, and the winner of that would be your number one contender for the United States Championship. Well, we had Solo in the tournament against Andrade, but right before his match, he gave his spot to Jacob Fatu, telling him he loved him, and then that was our first match, Andrade, Jacob Fatu. What do you think of this match, and do you think Solo really loves Jacob Fatu is the question?
I don't know. I mean, you'd like to think the best. You'd like to think it was sincere. I feel like Solo has an ulterior motive. Just unless maybe he is, or he's forgiven of that shot last week that we said Jacob Fatu really not showing any remorse for. But yeah, I mean, it's a big opportunity, a shot at championship gold that Solo gave to him. So that is, I guess, a sign of love, a sign of respect. And yeah, Fatu took it. I mean, again, like I said, it's a big shot. His first singles title chance at singles titles in WWE. And awesome match. I mean, well, it was.
It was. I know I say this a lot because I probably said this most every week, but I love Jacob Fatu. I'm a huge fan. This guy is going to be a mega star in WWE. Like, the talent, like, just the stuff he can do, it's just stuff he's part of a bloodline. But you don't see that style of fight from any of the other bloodline members that we see from Jacob Fatu. What's your opinion on Jacob Fatu?
No, exactly. I mean, you're right. He is. He's a very different kind of wrestler. I mean, just in general, like you said. I mean, he's a big dude, but he has the moves of like a young Jeff Hardy, or even. I mean, he can do some stuff even Penta can do. I mean, seriously, then the moonsault and stuff. I mean, yeah, he is just great talent. He can also do the power stuff as well. We've seen with Strowman the hip attacks, like Umaga would do. And then now, his promos, his little like almost raps of way through matches that have caught on and stuff. And again, you take him seriously because this man can go. So yeah, no, I'm with you. I think sky's the limit. Andrade, shout out to such a awesome talent. I mean, again, he just going for wing. I hope at some point we just see him get the proper due and chance to shine in a World too. Because I mean, he can go out there and he can put on a great match with anyone. I think the man could have a great match with a broomstick. Myself, he's just a very talented individual.
Props to both men there. You're right. Next up, we had this huge tag team brawl. This was the Street Profits brawling with Los Lotharios or Delgado now, but then it was DIY, then it was Pretty Deadly, then it was the Machine Guns. You had like every single tag team on the SmackDown tag team division fighting. How cool was this moment, and what did you think of it, and what match does this even lead to?
I don't know, but again, yeah, you're right. It was an awesome moment, just chaos, everyone making their point. The Profits have been jumping everyone. DIY's like, you're not going to go on and do your match and get away with it. And then DIY's made a lot of enemies in the process as well. And then you have someone like Legado that's like, hey, this is our opportunity to take everyone out and make a stand for ourselves. Machine Guns have not had a proper shot to get the take titles back. It's ended in controversy or interference. And that ticked off about that. And they deserve a proper chance. I mean, again, you could do multi-man, you could do a ladder at WrestleMania, or, I mean, you could do a match we haven't seen in a while, to my knowledge. Tag Team Turmoil is always a fun match. You have 5 teams, that's a good number for it. I mean, you could do that on a WrestleMania or like a big edition of SmackDown.
Yeah. Next up, we had Drew McIntyre come out. This would lead to Damian Priest coming out. Then CM Punk, then Seth Rollins, then who we thought would be John Cena because his music hit, then Logan Paul. But let's just be honest, this was such a cool moment, such a cool segment of this SmackDown. You had like everybody but John Cena in the chamber, trash talking, and just an awesome segment. What did you think of this?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, for that split second, you thought it was John Cena, like, that's really cool. But Logan Paul's a hell great job of trolling everyone, trolling the fans. No, it was awesome, especially Drew just, started the whole thing, and, Priest pointing out his obsession with Punk, and him, denying it, and him saying that's just sitting like him on the table, just, some comedy in there. It was really fun. Then it pretty much came to an end when Punk was going to go after Logan Paul. And he went so quick, I didn't even see where he went. Like, he did not want any of CM Punk
He
as
did
he went
not.
up the stage. But no, awesome promo. Great way to build hype and get you excited for Saturday night, I believe.
Yeah. Next up, we had LA Knight defeat Santos Escobar, and he joins Jacob Fatu in that triple threat that we'll talk about later on in the night. What'd you think of this one?
Again, awesome match. LA Knight's on a roll. Again, I think someone that sky's the limit for whether it's giving US title back. I think he's not doing that. I think in sometime in 25, would not surprise me see him as a world or WWE champion. I mean, he has everything necessary to achieve that goal. And Santos, and not just talent. Again, I think just I don't want to say underappreciated, but I just don't think people really get as good as he is. And I hope, much like Andrade, he gets that shot to show what he can do too. On NXT, his cruiserweight title wing was awesome. The Legado, the way that faction was built in NXT was so awesome. I'd love to see Santos return form. He can be a major player. But no, awesome match, and congrats to LA Knight.
Next up, we had a Sami Zayn promo. Kevin Owens, we saw him on the big screen. He was at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view arena. But dare I say, with this promo, you got to see something we don't see much of. We got to see the darker side of Sami Zayn. What did you think of this promo? And is this a possible, like, Cross keeps saying there's a darker side to Sami Zayn. We saw a little bit of that when he said he was going to end Kevin Owens. What did you think of this?
No, exactly. And again, it's Sami Zayn. It was not your average Sami Zayn promo, like you said. And it was, it's usually it's about, the underdog, what he can do and, how people underestimate him, what he can do. But this was not any of that. It was, no, I'm going to end you for what you've done. And then, Kevin Owens bringing in Sami's family. Then Sami Zayn doing the same thing with Kevin Owens. And, Cross, I mean, he got to... Well, we thought he just got to Xavier, but apparently he got to Kofi too. He got to The Miz. Something about that man, I'm not sure what he is, but he'll bring out of you. And just really just different. And, a lot of people say, they're doing this again. And no, but first off, anytime they force I'm always sign me up. It's a great match. But this, and even with the match for next night, was completely different than anything I've ever seen these men do. This was dark. This was really dark.
This was. Next up, we had Braun Strowman and Melo in another one of those triple threat qualifiers. We saw Melo win with the old Eddie Guerrero tactic. I thought that was pretty fun. But what'd you think of this match?
Oh, I thought it was fun. I mean, we saw Solo and Tama trying to eliminate Strowman, which again, that does help Fatu out the wrong one. I just don't know if there's an ulterior motive to Solo's actions. Miz said he told him something. He said only he's not going to need it. But is that what the Miz was told him to do? We don't know. But a great homage to one of the greats and Eddie, and Melo pulled it off and got the victory.
Next up, we have big 6-woman tag team match with nearly every competitor of the women's elimination chamber. It was Bianca, Naomi, and Bayley taking on Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne would pick up the pinfall victory over Bayley. And then after the match, we would see our last chamber competitor. We would see a Sister Abigail DDT from Alexa Bliss. What did you think of this match?
Fun match. Again, another way you had the promo. This was a great way to hype up women's chamber. Like you said, almost everyone involved in the match. And the person who was in the match got the last laugh in. But no, awesome back and forth match. And Roxanne's again, showing what she can do and picked up that big win over Bayley on SmackDown.
That's huge. That's a big victory. And talk about this too on the Chamber pay-per-view, but Barrett made it known on commentary that Roxanne Perez is still NXT Roxanne Perez. So maybe we see that call up after WrestleMania, but I think it's about time that she comes up and stays on the main roster. What do you think?
Exactly, I'm with you there. It seems like right now, I mean, because you still see her on both shows. She's going about like that, like you said, about time you see it's kind of in between, but I think you have to pull the trigger there, or maybe after a potential maybe match with Jordan Grace teased Tuesday night, she might force her, then she might be out too. But I'm with you. It's going to be way sooner than later.
Next up, we had LA Knight winning that triple threat that we had the qualifiers up to. He beat Jacob Fatu, Carmelo Hayes with an opportune moment, and he is the number contender for the U.S. title. What do you think of this match? And does LA Knight win his championship back?
Awesome match. Like you said, he took advantage of it, of the opportunity, wherever it takes to win. And not surprised me to see LA Knight get that title back. He's been in the hunt. He's wanted it for a long time now. And no, it would not surprise me to see that belt back around the night of the waist of a megastar.
And then we finished the show with Cody still contemplating what The Rock wants. Rock wants this, so Cody was still contemplating. Speaking of the gifts that we spoke of earlier, we saw The Rock give him a truck, an American Nightmare truck. And what'd you think of the Cody promo? Did it look like Cody was thinking about giving The Rock his sub?
I think so. I mean, we most definitely saw an emotional side of Cody. Nice truck driveway. And yeah, I mean, The Rock is just, he can get all the expenses. It's no, storyline. He is a Hollywood megastar and all that stuff's at his fingertips. He is technically on the board, has an ownership in the company. And no, it most definitely left, Cody looked uncertain. The Rock brought up his dad and everything, which, always brings, and rightfully so, emotion off Cody. But yeah, no, again, great foreshadowing, great hype up to the Elimination Chamber.
Speaking of the Elimination Chamber, that's where we're at now. We kicked off with the Women's Elimination Chamber, where Bianca Belair would defeat Liv Morgan, Naomi Bailey, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez. But maybe the talk of this was what happened at the start of the chamber. It was Liv and Naomi. Played Jade Cargill's music. We saw the long-awaited return of Jade Cargill, but we thought she was going after Liv. She just assaulted and beat the living heck out of Naomi. What'd you think of that shocker, and what do you think of Bianca going WrestleMania?
Yeah, I mean, a lot to unpack there, but yeah, like you said, I mean, when music hits, Liv just has a look of absolute terror in her eyes, crying, pleading, saying it was a core. Shock to a lot of people was, Naomi just completely just dominated, assaulted her. Naomi never stood a chance in that fight. Bianca,
she even slammed the door on Naomi's ribs. I've never seen that in Elimination Chamber, but that looked insanely painful.
Yeah, exactly. And Bianca just watched on in complete distraught and terror. I mean, everyone in the pods just was shocked and just did not see that coming. Jade, no verbal explanation, just all right there, physical for you see left. And yeah, awesome match. Everyone did a great job that was left in the match. Bianca somehow, despite the distraction, came out with a victory. Stared down Rhea up there, possibly EO, depending on how Monday Night Raw goes tomorrow night. But anyway, we've seen Bianca and EO before. Never had a bad match between the two. And if Rhea retains, I think a dream match at WrestleMania, Rhea and Bianca. So no, I mean, and then just where's this going to play in with Naomi, with Jade? It's just again, just the way to start off a night that would be huge in this road to WrestleMania. And I can't wait to see more explanations and more things explained on SmackDown, hopefully.
Should be interesting, you're right. Next up, we had for Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton and Trish defeated Nia and Candice LeRae. What'd you think of this match?
Oh, fun match. Trish don't look like she's missed a beat.
She does not.
Having not really wrestled a full match since that cage match a couple years ago. Again, I think it's great for Stratton to get the wub. Team up with Hometown Hero picked up. Hopefully she can put the Nia and Candice behind it for now and just focus on the Queen going forward. But yeah, a fun match. And, all roads ahead to WrestleMania now for Stratton. And the biggest challenger for career.
Yeah. Next up, we had a different a different section to the saga that is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. We had the unsanctioned match. This match was downright brutal. Kevin Owens comes out on top. He wanted to do even more to Sami Zayn when he picked up the victory. and then Randy Orton returned. What did you think of this match? Owens winning. Do we see Sami Zayn soon after this? And what about Randy Orton's return? What did you think of that one?
Yeah, again, I mean, awesome match. Like I said, a very dark chapter in this saga between them. They just completely just did everything they could to destroy one another. A barbed wire steel chair. Yeah, KO picked up the victory. It got so bad to the point of even the announcers were saying just pin him and end it because they thought Kevin Owens
Was going too far.
Yeah, that wasn't enough. He was going to, like you said, add more punishment afterwards. Randy Orton comes back, which is awesome. Haven't seen Randy Orton since, like, I believe, late October, early November. Always great to see Randy, especially WrestleMania season. It's not the same without the Viper. And getting away kick Kevin Owens back to the States from Toronto until security stopped him.
Yeah.
But, it most definitely has to be Randy Orton and KO at WrestleMania at this point. And I don't know how soon we see Sami.
I don't think we see Sami for a long time. It just looks like Kevin Owens did a ton of damage on him. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't see it, like you said, being for a while. And if it is around WrestleMania time and he's going to do something at WrestleMania, like you said, it might be Cross. He's been walking in the shadows. But right now, it looked like Sami, there's a number done on him in that match.
Next up, we had John Cena winning the Men's Elimination Chamber, meaning he will challenge Cody Rhodes. We'll get to more of that in a second, but what'd you think of his chamber match? He defeated CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean, the chamber was fun. Again, like women's one, the men's was awesome as well. I think both chambers really stood out. We saw Drew again caught up in the moment. Priest, much like at Royal Rumble, ended his WrestleMania dreams. I don't think that's going to go unnoticed by Drew, and I think Priest might be a part of his obsession now instead of Punk. And then not too long after, Logan Paul, being the opportunist he is, took out Priest. A huge, I can think of possibly one of the biggest pins in Logan Paul's career,
Yeah.
next to Rey Mysterio, of course. But that's just huge for world champion. Priest is a very hot star right now on the rise, and then
We saw the CM Punk, Seth Rollins rivalry being moved forward too.
Exactly, we saw that receipt to Logan Paul, the slap before the GTS, and that was it for
pretty
him.
cool. Yeah.
Cena and Punk fought first time, I think, since 2013. Those two men have squared up in a ring across from each other, which was awesome. Like you said, Rollins said, if nothing else, he was going to make sure Punk did not go to WrestleMania. He did. At the time, a surprisingly opportunistic move by John Cena, taking a weak CM Punk, but that will be explained very shortly.
And next up, we have what we've been wanting to talk about, because this is huge what happened. This is as big as comparable to when Hulk Hogan joined the NWO, because we had The Rock wanting Cody's decision. Cody had some choice words for Rock and pretty much told him, no, I would never. I wrestle for these fans that we see here that show up, that pay money, and I'm not being your corporate champion. But guess who wants to be the corporate champion? And a shocker that most of us did not see coming, no one really saw coming. John Cena is going to be the corporate champion, is what he wants to do. He laid waste to Cody Rhodes in a brutal assault by him for Rock, and yes, I'm going to say it, Travis Scott. What'd you think of this, and are you surprised John Cena turned heel?
I honestly am. Like you said, I never thought it happened myself. I honestly didn't. I mean, like you said, I can't think of another heel turn in the history of wrestling other than Hulk Hogan joining the NWO. I mean, it is almost like the same thing. If you look at it, Hulk Hogan, that generation was say your prayers, eat your vitamins. Everyone, the kids looked up to John Cena. Possibly maybe even had a longer one of doing that kind of thing than Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And just, ambassador fade and just completely just see that look, and then The Rock do that, and that look change on John Cena's face. Cody.
It's like it was even the same guy.
I know, exactly. It's like at that moment, it's like he took his soul, so to speak. Like there was nothing in those eyes, just a dead stare from John Cena, and just completely violent an unmerciful beatdown of the American Nightmare.
He left Cody a bloody mess, and I mean, I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to ask you this question. This is what I keep thinking. Is John Cena right now the biggest heel in the whole company?
He has to be. I mean, there's no way. I mean, even you look at everyone else. I mean, just the name of John Cena. It's hard to say he's not just the biggest anything in the company when he's there. I mean, he's just what he's done in wrestling. We've seen, like The Rock, but outside the Hollywood appeal of John Cena. And yeah, I mean, he has to be. I mean, there were people in shock.
Kids crying.
Yeah, kids crying.
The boos were waning down. And at one point when it happened, the crowd almost went like dead silent. It was almost that silence of The Undertaker's streak ending when it first happened.
Exactly.
Then it went from silence to boos waning down. Like, it was just a moment, like, it was history. You'll never forget this. John Cena is a hell. Like,
no, exactly right. I mean, I did not see. I mean, John Cena, just being John Cena. He, like I said, questionable how he beat CM Punk, but I think it's a chamber. It's every man for himself. He wants to go WrestleMania. He said sorry before he did it. But he's jumping around. He's all there for Cody. Even just that split torn in Vlock just stood there while everything happened, and then eventually take that weight belt, lay waste to Cody. And like you said, even rapper Travis Scott got involved, which has drawn some comparisons to like a Dennis Rodman type NWO feel.
Well, he got a good shot in on Cody Rhodes. I think that's what gave Cody the black eye, was that shot from Travis Scott.
I think so too. And I mean, again, never know if that's really purpose, but he's not a walker like them. So anything like that could happen. But yeah, no, Cody just did not look good afterwards. After the show went off air, Michael Cole, Barrett, and Pat all even came in and tried to help Cody up and walk him up. But yeah, just a shocker. I mean, when we were giving our predictions for last week, I don't think anyone could have called this one. It was held very close to the vest. They said only select few in WWE knew it was going to happen. Not even everyone backstage in WWE. This is happening. It really will go down as one of the biggest, I think, shockers in the history of not just WWE but wrestling. Like we said, the only other thing that comes close heel turn wise is Hulk Hogan going to the NWO, and yeah, it was just huge, and it makes you just can't wait to see what's going to happen on the road to WrestleMania.
No, but I for one am going to say I hope Cody gets John Cena back. I hope he gives him his, and I hope Cody retains at WrestleMania. But John Cena being the superstar he is, and the help of The Rock, it may be too much for Cody to overcome.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it took a whiff, and not just not shot at Cody at all, because Cody's awesome. But like we said, with the bloodline thing last year, it took an army to help him, to even the odds and everything right. But this is a different battle. This is not the bloodline. This is one of the men that helped Cody last year against The Rock, who took The Rock back to WrestleMania, is now with The Rock. And
it's insane.
Something really we never saw coming. I mean, back over a decade ago, they forced that WrestleMania back-to-back for Rock and John Cena. John Cena said everything about Rock. Rock made fun of John Cena's merchandise and his T-shirts and all that. And now this unholy union, so to speak, of these two. But like they said about Jade, Cody's coming back for his weight of his patch of skin.
Yes, he is.
He's going to bring revenge. You know that. He's not going to stay down. He's not going to lick his wounds.
Yeah, he's been a fighting champion the whole time. I can't wait to see what
he is going to retaliate against both John Cena and The Rock for that beatdown last night. But yeah, just an awesome just moment just to get Road to WrestleMania took a derail that we never saw coming.
Well, what's your match of the week, and who's your MVP of the week? What you got for us?
No, again, like awesome week. We'll have to go with go on more for match of week candidates. We'll have to go Valkyria and Dakota Kai. I thought again it was just underrated, really awesome match. We'll have to go that main event tag team title match. A very awesome match. And just again, just showcasing. Just we talk about women's division NXT, but just women's division in wrestling right now is so awesome, and just always just show still those great matches. We'll go to NXT. We'll do the Hardy's no quarter catch crew, and we will do the huge tag team main event for debut of Ricky Saints on NXT. Very fun matches. We'll go SmackDown. We'll do Fatu and El Idolo as candidates. We will go to that triple threat match, and for the LA Knight would pick up the victory in, and we'll do that as a match of week candidate. We will jump to Elimination Chamber. We'll do, of course, like kind of like Rumbles, you have the chamber matches, which again, just you know that they stand out on their own, being the gimmick match of the event. But we're going to take the unsanctioned match and we're going to put that in there. And all great matches. Really was a great week of WWE action, but we'll have to go for unsanctioned match. Just
that was a killer match.
Completely just different chapter. And for MVP, we were just talking about it. I have to go John Cena.
I knew you were going to go John Cena.
Because everyone for this next week at least, and just going forward, depending on what happens this week, is going to be talking about John Cena. You just can't. You can't right now, I think, go for anyone else but John Cena after last night, because everyone's waiting to see what happens next.
Well, speaking of John Cena, he's going to be a part of our throwback match of the week. For this match, I want you guys to go to WWE on Peacock, go to the Elimination Chamber, look for Elimination Chamber 2017, and go to the main event. Since it's Chamber Week, we watched 2 chambers. Go to that Elimination Chamber where we saw Bray Wyatt win the WWE Championship by defeating the champion John Cena, AJ Styles, The Miz, Dean Ambrose, and Baron Corbin. We talk about this match a lot, especially in the last couple of weeks. That was an amazing Elimination Chamber.
It was, and it just awesome to finally see, at that point in time, Bray Wyatt get the championship. Was very deserved. All the work he had put into that point, and to see him hold the championship, to end the show a lot. And again, when that happened, it was a surprise in the sense everyone thought John Cena was going to retain the title back then and
go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. And that was just a complete kind of shocker, but was fun. And especially, just rest in peace to Bray. As fans, we all miss him. Loved watching him. But yeah, it was just a great moment and very deserving champion, and awesome to see his crown. And I watched it live, and I still remember it to this day.
It was an amazing match. Thank you for joining us on Jackal's Wrestling Entertainment Pod. We have a lot to talk about this upcoming week. Can't wait to see you guys on next week's show.
Yes, thank you guys.